So, when we act in the world, that acting arises from the way we are thinking about things, the way we speaking. Let's call it speech, and then physical action of the body. So the Bodhisattvas are helping us do all these things beautifully. And we've been learning in the presentation on beginning anew, the practice of loving speech and deep listening. So we've all made a lot of progress on these three already. And this is what we can call our triple action, also known as our kind of karma. Karma just means action. What we produce in this lifetime. And this continues to resonate. Sometimes we see how our acts of speech can either cause healing or a kind of escalating disaster. Our action resonates through space and time. And when our physical body disintegrates, it's our action that continues us. It is the ground on which we stand. So everything we do to cultivate, we can speak about right thinking, right speech, and right action. We can even speak about right mindfulness, right concentration, and right. It means that there's also wrong thinking, wrong speech, and wrong action. So that means thinking that is not in the line of the insight of interbeing. That's your problem. That's your problem, not mine. But with the insight of interbeing, the problem of our colleague, our friend, our family member, or our mother or father, that is also our problem. Because we are. Right thinking is also something to do with the inclination of our mind. We can be the master of our mind, the rider of our horse, the horse of our mind. We can choose where to rest our mind, on thoughts that are positive or thoughts that are negative, thoughts that go in the direction of helping there be more well-being, or that keep us stuck in ill-being. So the path to well-being involves cultivating our mind and good thinking. We don't repress the negative thinking. If we have a feeling of anger, we embrace our anger, look deeply into it, calm it so that we can get an insight about it. We look deeply into our despair and learn how to cultivate the opposite, which is hope. There's a lot of suffering in the world. We just need a homeopathic dose of it, just enough to be able to work with, to cultivate. And this is all like gardening our mind, so that the speech we produce will be helpful rather than do more harm, and so that our actions can be based on love and joy, compassion. If our action is based on panic or self-defense, it may not exactly come from the right place in us. It may not be truly sustainable. We have the language of climate crisis or planetary breakdown. These are strong words. But if we have a sense that everything is broken, time is running out, that energy of panic may not help us have deep, long-lasting, sustainable action. So instead of operating from a place of fear, we see the truth, we name the truth, we know the truth. But we want to operate from a place of love, loving the earth, wanting to protect the earth and everyone and all species on the earth. And it's something we want to do together with others. The most powerful kind of action is collective action. Tai taught ways that we can work together and collaborate with others, and these are called the 6 harmonies, or togethernesses. So this might be your housemates, or it might be your activist group, or your local sangha, or even your colleagues at work, or even just your fellow dreamers. Maybe you're in a theatre company, or some other affiliated group. How can you stay bonded and in harmony? How can you harmonize? Well, first of all, you have to show up. So, physical presence, showing up. If we organize a party and no one shows up, we don't feel very happy. If we organize a protest and no one shows up, we don't feel very happy. Showing up. If we organize a rotation team for the monastics and our rotation friends, monastics, don't show up, we're not very happy. So this is showing up, physical presence. The next one is that we share our insights and views. And we do this in a very particular way. We don't, in the Buddhist tradition, the way we do this is not to impose our views on others, but to try to hear all views, a diversity of views, to tolerate different ways of looking and seeing things, and then arrive at a kind of collective insight or harmonious consensus of the different views. The third is our thinking, or we can call it like sharing from our heart-mind. There's one word for heart and mind in Vietnamese and Chinese, tâm. This is what we do in Dharma sharing. We are sharing deeply our deepest truths and experiences. It is a way to become intimate with each other. It is a way to build trust and solidarity. What is really going on for me? What are my deepest dreams? The fourth, move here, speech. So it's harmonious speech. We make a commitment to each other to guard our speaking, to practice restraint so as not to create disharmony. We may express our view, but then we let go. We don't fight for it. If we have a strong emotion, we can go out for a 10-minute walk, come back and express ourselves calmly. This is how we cultivate this in Plum Village. A lot of harm can be done with speech that is not harmonious. Okay. The fifth is sharing resources. If we live with other people, we know that this is sometimes a place of negotiation. The more we can share, the more we can be in harmony. Sharing food, sharing the electricity bill. If you're in a sangha, sharing the bell, sharing the cushions. Having shared resources that you hold in common is very bonding. And it's a way to practice interbeing. Not me and mine, but more that is shared. And finally, we share values or ethics. And for many of us, this is the 5 mindfulness trainings. And for monastics, it's our own monastic precepts. We have a code of conduct that we all agree to follow, to establish boundaries, to go in a direction of goodness. There's 2 more here. Right livelihood. And right diligence. I hope that all of you on this retreat have had a chance to reflect on what is most important to you. What are your deepest values? How would you like to live your life? How would I like to live my life? We need to ask ourselves this question. What is most important to me? I have this one life, and what am I going to do with it? All of us, we need to have a direction, an aspiration, a deep sense of what we want to contribute and the direction we want to go in. And this is called volition. Volition. You will see it on your 5 mindfulness training certificates. It's one of the 4 kinds of nutriments or fuel that sustains us. It's a source of energy, our volition or aspiration. We see the suffering in the world. We see the suffering in ourselves and our loved ones, and we want to do something about it. If we don't do something about it, we go crazy. And each one of us, we are a different kind of bodhisattva, each one different from the next, and we have something to contribute. And we have to find out what it will be. What will be my piece in this? And our deepest desire is something we have to identify and nurture, cultivate it. You have to have a very clear sense of what you are here to do and why it is so important to you, who you want to help. Maybe we cannot help everyone, but who would we most like to help? And our volition, our aspiration is very important in difficult moments. It carries us through the obstacles, carries us through the difficulties. And when we have our own suffering inside, our personal human suffering, when we have our bigger aspiration, it helps us get us out of the pit. I have so much to do with this life. There is something I can do with this body. I will not be stuck in this pit. I will get myself out so I can help others, so I can help the world. So we need this strong volition, strong aspiration. And the Bodhisattva of this one is Ksitigarbha. Ksitigarbha. Ksitigarbha is fearless and persevering in realms of suffering and darkness, in our own minds, in society, and in the world. And you can invoke his name. You can generate that energy in you of fearlessness and perseverance. Everything is possible. When we know what we want to do, it's very easy to choose our right livelihood. Right diligence here means it's a training. Everything we want to realize, it's not enough just to have the dream. You need to have a dream, but it's not enough. We have to train ourselves to put our dream into action, to realize it. And it's best to realize it with others. And with right diligence, we become aware of many things. What environment do I need to nurture myself and my dream, my aspiration? Am I in a toxic environment? Where I work, where I live, the people I hang out with, the places I go to spend my free time. Is it watering seeds of aggression, violence, or fear or despair in me? Or is it nourishing my seed of confidence, hope, and community? So right diligence means we have to be honest with ourselves about what kind of seeds we're watering, and to water those that go in the direction that help us be the kind of person we would like to be. Right diligence has something to do with how we spend our time. We have a dream, and it might be a very big dream. And if we want to realize that dream, and we want to work with others to realize that dream, maybe we have to be very clear about how we spend our time. And it is the Bodhisattva Ksitigarbha of great aspiration. He is the one that switches off Netflix. He is the one that closes the YouTube window. We have something better to do with our time. And we need all the energy, all our mental clarity, all the space. We need to conserve our energy for that which is most important for us to do. And we need to be very honest about what is watering our seeds of fear, anxiety, restlessness. So this is the path of the wise ones.